Ronnie Biggs has been freed from prison to see out his final days.
Yes, isn't it absolutely lovely? Though people in the left wing are turning round to Labour and asking us how we could be so inhuman as to keep him in prison in the first place. To which I say, well, I'm in Labour, but I have to echo those views myself. How could we lack such basic humanity? Which could only make the likes of Jack Straw say that such a frail and harmless old man should be kept in jail till he dies, mate. Oh yes, mate. What a travesty of justice. Vote Labour!
Yes, that's right. Left-wing arseholes on their blogs have been bitching and whining about Justice Secretary Jack Straw, saying initially that Ronnie Biggs should be kept in prison until he died. However, his health has deteriorated so much that Jack Straw said, "Oh, all right, let him out."
Yeah, but the authorities are still keeping a very strict watch on Ronnie Biggs. They're persecuting him! Oh yes, mate. It all goes to show that the establishment, the old establishment, this ghost is still pervading all of us, mate. It's having its revenge in getting its... punishing him after all these years. Well, I mean, it's just sick, isn't it?
Ronnie Biggs participated in the Great Train Robbery of 1963 and netted millions of pounds. He was the only gang member to permanently escape. During the Great Train Robbery, a guard was killed, but Ronnie Biggs never showed any remorse or regret over the incident, and he used to keep boasting to foreign journalists about what a cracking little caper it was, and he was happy that it made him a star of sorts. An attempt to extradite him back to Britain failed because he had a child by a Brazilian woman. For so many decades he thumbed his nose at British law, only finally coming back to England because he knew that the Brazilian health service couldn't give a stuff about him if he was poor, and so he came back to Britain to get free health treatment, which he's duly got, but his health has deteriorated anyway. A lot of people feel understandably annoyed at this turn of affairs, saying, well, if he didn't want to stay in Britain all these years and couldn't give us stuff, then why not have just left him out there so he could take his medicine? Or not, as the case may be.
Well, that's your typical British public, isn't it? Not to mention people like Amanda Platel in the media, echoing these views, mate. Well, it's a basic sense of values, isn't it, mate? Yeah. Whatever happens to the public having sympathy for the gangland criminals, eh? Oh yes, they all went up to see the craze when that film was released in the cinema, didn't they, eh? And they're always buying books and videos and things about gangland crime. Either you like them or you don't, mate. Make up your mind, you disgusting little hypocrites. Vote Labour! Because I'll never understand the likes of you, eh? Not as long as I live. However, that's not going to stop me from persevering in ruling you so diligently, regardless of how much you hate me. Oh, you see, because if I was to step down and let somebody else take the job, well, this would be a dereliction of duty, wouldn't it, mate?
I don't think you'll get a choice next year somehow.
Taking the power of decision-making out of the hands of your leaders, that's mutiny.
That's democracy.
Well, not when it's... Not when you're ousting people in Labour, because don't forget, when we were on the opposition benches, it was all about democracy then. But if it's, again, democracy when the Tories are trying to take our places, well, I mean, that's just hypocritical. You can't have it both ways.